What's up guys, it's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. And I must apologize to all of you. I have been extremely busy over the last week or so. There's been a lot of changes going on in real life. And I've come to the conclusion that I cannot manage two channels. It is just too much work. But I still enjoy Watcher of Realms a lot. So I am going to be doing videos on Watcher of Realms. I'm just going to be putting them on my regular channel. They will be under a different title. So it will say Watcher of Realms before the video. And if you're not into Watcher of Realms or you don't want to know anything extra about the game, then just ignore those videos. That's the best that I can do, unfortunately, guys. So please bear with me as I continue on this journey. But for those of you who are interested in Watcher of Realms, I am going to be looking today at our newest hero called Dahlia, who has just entered into the game, and she is available as a free hero. I say free hero with like a tongue-in-cheek because you have to summon 250 pulls to be able to pull this hero. So as you can see here, I'm at 156 of 250 summons. That was for saving up 2 weeks worth of summons. Literally, I just didn't summon for 1 week. And I am completely free to play in this game at the moment. So that should give you an idea, if you're not started out with Watcher of Realms, of how obtainable these kind of heroes are. Now they do have an event that goes along with them where you can earn a specific coins. So that was where I was a second ago. You get the story mode, which you basically just play through, and in the story mode it gives you a chance to actually use this hero. So if I just go in, we'll go in on level 1 because that's going to be the most basic. You can see she's here as a special assist hero, and the heroes that you get are fixed in this stage. So it gives us an idea of what Dahlia actually does. Now the most incredible thing about this hero Dahlia is her range. So I'm just going to pop her down right here on this tile, and you can see she's got a range of literally 6 tiles right in front of her. So she can spawn these cursed blossoms on the tile range. I'm going to ignore whatever Valkyria is saying because I really don't care about what you're saying. I just want you to see. So there is a little cursed blossom that she is putting down there, and those cursed blossoms explode and deal poison damage when they hit an enemy. When she fully charges her ultimate, I mean, you can see how effective she is here. She's just literally wiping out this whole team. But when she fully charges her ultimate, let's speed this up a little bit. Let's just see if we can get some more enemies coming in. So I can show you the absolute devastation of this hero. Because her range is really awkward, I'm just going to need to put somebody up for defense here. Shit, I should have thought about what I'm doing here. But that's fine. I mean, she is so strong that she can literally hold that lane on her own. So as we see the enemies coming in over here, let's just trigger off her ultimate skill now. I've only got literally 1 guy left. She's that strong. She just, that cursed blossom explodes, and it basically does 300% AoE damage to the heroes that are adjacent to it. So that is basically what she's doing. She's super effective. I've got 4 heroes here holding a line, and Dahlia is just literally, I don't have to worry about her at all. She is just taking all of those heroes out. Nobody's able to pass her. No enemies are able to pass her. So with that being said, I'm going to quit this battle and we'll go ahead and we'll have a look at Dahlia's kit. So we want to see what she's all about. Right. I hate seeing that defeat sign, but you know what? I've done it already, so I don't need to do it again. Okay, so there is, once you completed the story mode, you get the Witch's Call challenge, which is basically a challenge mode where you can fight against this dragon. You earn specific coins. I'm not sure exactly what they call them now. Broken souls. So you got bitter souls, you got broken souls, and depending on the amount of souls that you have, you can spend them in this wonderful redeem shop here, where you can buy diamonds, you can buy a chat bubble. She does have a artifact which is specific to her, which is the Orb of Ruin, and that is really cool for her because it increases attack by 10%, but upon triggering the talent, there's a 40% chance to generate a mutated blossom, 1 or 2. We'll have a look at that in just a second. And it deals 50% damage per second to enemies on affected tiles. The mutated blossom has an additional effect where it reduces the effect duration to 5 seconds, When the effect duration ends, that's what I was saying, it explodes and deals 300% AoE damage, which is a heck of a lot of damage. And this Orb of Ruin is definitely a good one. It doesn't take a lot to have enough to get it. I have unlocked it, but I'm not going to buy it because I really want to get Dahlia. If I do get Dahlia, then of course that is going to be the thing that I'm going to buy from this shop. But there's some other really cool items, a few summons. You can get Esme, but she's really not that great of a hero, so I wouldn't bother with her, to be honest. And then, you know, a little avatar, etc. is available in there. Now let's go ahead, we'll have a look at this hero, shall we? So let's start off with a little bit of a cutscene. So before we get to her actual kit, let us have a look at the intro for Dahlia. So in case you haven't seen it already, here we go. I'll shut up. Holy heck. There's some serious vibes going on there, guys. Okay, if we can take our attention away from that just for a second to actually have a look at this hero, I think we'll be doing pretty well. So first of all, of course, she is a legendary hero. Why would we be talking about her otherwise? Let us start by taking a look at her basic talents. Okay, so her talent, she generates one cursed blossom on a random tile in range every X seconds. So X is equal to 1.5 attack intervals. Cannot target airborne units. So what does that actually mean? If we look at the hero details tab, she has an attack interval of 3.5 seconds. You can increase the attack speed, but basically she will generate a cursed blossom every 1.5 times whatever the attack interval is. So if it's 3.5 seconds, it's a basic 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds she generates this cursed blossom. If we click on Cursed Blossom, we can see it deals 100% damage one time and inflicts 50% slow for 5 seconds to ground enemies who enter the affected tiles. It inflicts 1 stack of poison for 10 seconds up to 3 ground enemies on each affected tile every 3 seconds. So poison has been sort of nerfed quite a bit recently, and that is probably down to the release of Dahlia, to be honest, because otherwise she would have been super OP. But as it is, the poison damage is awesome, but it's more about the slow and the increase, the 100% damage on that Cursed Blossom, and each Cursed Blossom will just inflict that every 1.5 times the attack interval. So of course you want to increase her attack speed. That's what you want to focus on to bring that attack interval down so she can generate more Cursed Blossoms, and that is the way that's going to work. So let's look at her basic attack. It's 100% AoE damage to up to 10 enemies. That's a lot of enemies. So basically she is a really, really good hero for stages in Gear Raid 1 where you need that crowd control, AoE, magic damage to up to 10 enemies at a time. So she's, I've heard, really, really, really good for Gear Raid 1. And thank goodness, thank God, I just passed Gear Raid 1 stage 19 yesterday. I was trying to do that for ages. And it had everything to do with getting the skills up to max level. So as you can see, as you increase the skills, her damage increases. So it starts 100% AoE damage and then it increases. And then we go over to, let's look at her ultimate. So when activated, increases the hero's damage by 20% for 10 seconds. So all damage is going to be increased by 20% for 10 seconds. During the skill effect, the hero's basic attack prioritizes igniting one existing Cursed Blossom. So that is where the AoE damage effect is going to happen up to 300%. So with enemies around, dealing 220% AoE damage to up to 8 nearby enemies, and inflicting slow and 2 stacks of poison. So as we've said, slow is a negative 50% on the movement speed. The poison, this is a description for it, it deals 5% continuous magic damage per second, stacking up to 10 times. So you can get a bunch of stacks of poison going, and you can be doing a additional magic damage per poison stack. So she's doing slow, she's doing some awesome AoE damage, very good crowd control, and stacking poison. What more could you want? I mean, honestly, she is just insane. The only weird thing about her is her range. So it starts off, if you look up here, it starts off at 5 tiles, and at the max level, the range is increased there to 6 tiles, but it's 6 tiles directly in front of her, and she is a platform mage, so she can only stand on a platform, and it's kind of awkward in a lot of content because you don't normally have a platform right behind the crystal or right in front of the crystal along a line. It's normally somewhere to the side. So that means that there's certain stages where she's not going to be very useful, but when she is useful, she's going to be an absolute beast. Now let's have a little look at her passive. So Demonic Surge, every Curse Blossom ignited increases critical damage by 18% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. Again, we've got stacks going on critical damage. And then the other passive is the Thorn's Embrace. If there are at least 2 instances of Cursed Blossom adjacent to an ally, the ally gains block increase and damage increase. So block increase increases the amount of enemies that the target can block by 1. So if you've got a normal block of, say, 3 with a defender, it increases and you'll be able to block 4 enemies during this Thorn's Embrace. And the damage increase over here, if we just click on this, it's a 12% damage increase on that Thorn's Embrace as well. And that is, I mean, that is pretty much Dahlia in a nutshell. She is fantastic in Gear Aid 1. She's an extremely cool looking hero, and I think she's insane. I think that we are probably going to be seeing a lot more content released in the future where you will be able to get some better use out of Dahlia than what we have at the moment. But if you are struggling with Gear Aid 1, I would say this is an extremely good hero to go for. Like I said, I've dropped about 155 pulls. I have pulled 2 legendaries. I got Trusk, who was one that I didn't have, who I'm really excited about actually, and I got A2 Sadie, so I've pulled 3 Sadies now, but she is really effective in some Immortal Codex content, and also in some other content as well, so I'm pretty okay with that. But I would definitely like to get my hands on Dahlia, and like I said, if you do manage to grab this hero, then obviously you want to get hold of her artifact that is in the Redeem shop at the moment. Her awakenings, just very quickly, so at Awaken 1, the number of Cursed Blossoms required to trigger Thorn's Embrace is reduced by 1. Very strong. Awaken 2 is an attack increase of 30%. Awaken 3 deals 25% extra damage to targets inflicted with poison, and you know there are going to be a lot of them. So that is really good. I like the Awaken 3. I mean, realistically, it's going to be very difficult for you to get there. Awaken 4, her cost is reduced by 2. So let's have a look at what her cost actually is. I didn't really look at that now. So she has a cost of 21. That's quite high for a mage. So being able to reduce her cost down to 19 will be really good. But then you're going to have to pull 4 Dahlias. So good luck with that. And then let's have a quick look at Awaken 5 just to whet our appetites. Cursed Blossom also inflicts the same amount of damage and slow effect to enemies who leave the affected tile. Okay, so it's basically going to be then, you know, at Awaken 5 you're going to be able to get a bigger range on her special, basically, is the way I'm reading that. So yeah, I mean, awakenings aside, I wouldn't even bother with the majority of those. I really like the Awaken 3, but she is going to be an insane hero just as she is. So in summary, fantastic hero, awesome for Gear Aid 1. Congratulations if you do manage to get your hands on Dahlia. I think she's going to be insane. And also, if you guys are considering trying out this game for the first time, if you're looking at this and you normally watch my other videos on the Empires and Puzzles channel, I want to give you a little bit of encouragement, really. This game has just surprised me at every single turn, not just with the graphics, not just with the sort of gameplay and the interesting gameplay. You get to play defense, you get to play offense. On Empires and Puzzles, we don't get to play as our defensive team. You know, all we can do is set it up and then see how well it does. There are a lot of limitations, and there is a kind of sense where when you're playing a game, you want those rewards to be rewards that you get on a regular basis. You want to be able to drop pulls. I mean, I've never in my whole entire life been able to drop 150 pulls in Empires and Puzzles, let alone just by saving up for a couple of weeks. So if you are considering something new, I'd highly recommend this game. In summary, please drop us a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss any future videos, share it with your mother, and I'll see you all again in the next video. Bye for now.